Take only what resonates with you. And what is the sign, the planet sign for Aries here? Sun sign, Venus. I'm picking up Mars, Neptune, anything else. So Sun, Venus, Mars, and Neptune for Aries. And this is Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. Let me find this in the guidebook. This is the King. This is the Knight. They don't make it easy, the offer. Knight of Swords right here. Knowledge. Two snake on the sword, on two blades. This guy is holding two blades, and there's a snake in each one of them. And it has a lion head. And there's a circle on the middle of the chest. Unfortunately, I cannot show nudity on this card. But there's a lot of symbolism in here about knowledge. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not. But let me know you can actually hear me. But I'm just a little bit far from the mic. Unseen energy. There's a lot of knowledge about his and her own energy, about the snake is usually a symbolism of transformation, shedding the old to form a new skin. But I don't think this is a positive kind in this regard. I feel like it's creating more mass for his and herself in this regard. So it's hiding its own light. And also sexuality, it's involved in hiding this. Perhaps it's a way of another outlet for this Aries, wanting to use sexuality to divert whatever the underlying emotion this individual is having inside. And that's what it feels like. So, and that's transformation also. It's not a beautiful kind of transformation. It's evolving to it's already in the dark side of it, but it's continued to evolve to this dark side. And let me move on to the next card, the Three of Swords. Love in pain. I think there's a heartbreak. Let me leave this card up here. So this Aries, it's in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. That's what I'm picking up. And it's in pain, hurts, physically, mentally, and significantly emotionally. Whoever this partner is, it's hurting you inside, and you're self-inflicting it as well. And you know this is a toxic relationship. And that's what this mask is from the first card, having two snakes. And trying to transform into something that is not pretty. And sexual addiction, perhaps. That's what I'm sensing as well in this romantic relationship. But this is not. This is like an underlying emotion. You're so desperately needs love, attention, but then you are interpreting love wrongly. I feel like you interpreting love need to have physical contact in a sexual way as a way of expressing your idea of love. And that's why it is hurting in this card, as you see all these three swords going in different direction. But roses stand for love, but this is not a pure kind of love. But I feel like you have multiple ideas of love in so many different, each rose represent each idea of love that you're having. So, and that's what's going on with this Aries. But let me move on to the Hierophant card. Hierophant card is holding a key here. So you're holding the key to unlock the wounds that you have in the past, but then you're not like, because of the mask that you're wearing and constantly transforming into a different mask, because I'm seeing two snakes on top of the head right here, but you're not going to unlock this mask that you're having in this relationship. I feel like you continue to codependent on this relationship to make you feel better. I feel like you are, what's the word of venting your inner emotions, venting your inner darkness for this sexuality. So it is up to you to pick up this key to unlock your heart and soul. Otherwise, you continue to stuck in this addictive relationship that going nowhere. But eventually, I feel like it's gonna end somehow for some of you, okay? But I'm not gonna say everybody in here. So take only what resonates for you. Aries, the sun sign, Venus, Mars, and Neptune. So Queen of Swords here is a huge eye on this double quote. It is supposed to be about wisdom, but are you actually looking within for this wisdom? I doubt it. It's not it. But I feel like you're trapping yourself in here. This eyes telling me is some sadness in there. There's some pain in there. There's some past wound in there. And not want to do much about it because you're addicted to this sexuality with your partners, so-called partners. I feel like some of these partnerships are committed, some of them are not. I feel like friends with benefits as well come to me in this Aries. So wherever the arrangement might be in this week, in this partnership, but there's quite a bit of sexual behavior involved in this relationship. And I feel like the more you're doing with this partner, the more sadness that you feel, the more emptiness you feel. But then you are unleashing out on this sexual encounter in order to get rid of it. But I feel like there's an intensity of aggression involved. The longer that you're staying in this sexuality, the more aggression there is involved. For some reason, someone's getting hurt physically in this Aries. Perhaps there's some sexual transmitted disease going on and putting a stop to this intimacy for a little while. And it's shocking, alarming, and involved in some sort of argument with this partner. Like why you're getting this sexual transmitted disease. Feel like there's a doubt or suspicion of another party involved. And yes, to confirm with this, whether this person admit to you or not, so that the answer is yes, there is another party involved. But again, some of this group here are involved in uncommitted friends with benefit relationship as well. It's not necessarily an exclusive relationship, right? So there's a multiple type of relationship in this collective group for this Aries. So let me move on to the next card here, but I need to block it out due to nudity. The Hanged Man. It's like Hanged Man is about you knowing that it's not working it out, but then you're still putting yourself in this position, like clinging onto it. It's not when to release, so it's already hanging by your neck already, and you know it's not working it out, and you're not going to deal with your past issues. I'm sensing more than one type of past issues for you to engage in this insecure relationship. You think it's a quick fix of something that wants to surface, but it's not, you're not wanting to deal with it, but you're using this sexual relationship to suppress or divert in some way, just because the physical intimacy makes you or give you the good feelings, right? So this Hanged Man is trying to tell you, on the brighter side, to try to tell you stop hurting yourself. You can release this relationship and you can work on yourself. I'm going to move on to the last card here. The Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is usually, I'm seeing a bar trapping you to, I'm seeing a long wall here behind the bar. There's a roses and it's beautiful. What's passing, not behind. I don't want to say behind. It's like a gate. It's not totally still in the middle. You can go through it, but the gap is so tiny. But then there is a tower. There's a person walking. It could be walking in, could be walking out of the tower. It's up to the interpretation, but I feel like both ways. It's like an off and on relationship with this partner. And that's what's going on. Like there's some upheaval happen, trigger you to stop this relationship. But then contacting each other again. It could be this person contacting you or you contacting this person. Whatever that is, it's like a variation in the script that I'm talking about. So take only what resonates with you. And I feel like you're done with this upheaval, but then the addictive feelings trigger to coming back together to do more upheaval as well. It's like a never-ending cycling, or you're finding new partner to do it with. And that's what you're trapping yourself with this Eight of Swords. It's up to you to pull each one of them out. And the middle one, it's already having a gap for you. And I feel like, but it's so tiny. But I know deep down inside, you know it's toxic. And I feel like some of you feel it's not good for you. So you can do more about that. But I think you're comforting and you're letting your addictive feeling to drag you back into this more sexuality. Is there any more to do for this group here? I'm going to guide to end this Aries collective readings here. May you find light from your spiritual guardians. Now I'm moving toward with Taurus collective readings. So what sign is this? The sun sign? Sun sign only. Neptune, Jupiter, so it's Sun and Neptune only. Saturn. Sun, Neptune, and Saturn in Taurus. Okay, Sun, Neptune, and Saturn in Taurus. And I'm going to use the star tarot. King of Swords. The sun on top of his head is bright and glowed. And then there's a huge star. Coins holding in his left hand. I feel like this King of Swords, is this in reversal? So this Taurus here is feeling free. I feel like there's a freedom in this Taurus. This freedom makes him feel released by the burden or the struggle he or she has been experiencing. I'm going to use the term he throughout this collective reading, so you can flip the sex all you want. So it could be a she. So there's a sense of freedom and relief. I mean, this is the mentality of this individual right now. So this is like this current energy in this collective group. So it's the Sun, Neptune, and Saturn in Taurus. So this Four of Wands, quite happy and sunny. This is like, as a mountain, I see mountain and a world traveling to that. I'm seeing the two little bears playing. Like there's a abundance in this regard. Why is this like a beautiful readings? You came a long way in this, and there's something ascending in your on your soul. That's what the first card is. I'm seeing that this is your crown chakra. It's been ascending for a long time, wherever you have been struggling, and now I'm seeing abundance in this Four of Wands. Like you finally to lay down this burden, this struggle that you're having. This Nine of Swords. Why is it going back to chaos again? But there is a butterfly. It is trapped in this web. But this is the last card in this collective readings. It should have been at the front. Should I read all three of them at the same time? They're not one at a time. This is not one at a time. This is a reversal. Both ways. It wants me to read both ways. But I'm not picking out timeline here. That's the problem. So I need some timeline here. Without timeline, it's hard to read this. So the timelines, variations. It varies. So, okay, I see. Some point in your life journey is extremely struggling. You're crying your heart out, like almost heavy nights for a little while. But then something, this white butterfly, got enlightened you somehow. You got enlightened yourself. Because we're dealing with Taurus here. You are like You have this particle sense in you, and it's quite physical in nature as well. So about your life situation, but that's how you will things, right? From a particle standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a more like a resourceful standpoint. So sometimes it's hard for you to engage in your own feeling. So that's where this Nine of Swords come in and telling me that you are struggling emotionally, and I feel like you have emotional breakdown at some point in your life. Okay, this Four of Wands, it's like the abundance that I'm talking about. Taurus, being resourceful, being practical, being what was the other one that I just mentioned earlier? Practical, resourceful, and physical in nature. So this Four of Wands is telling me that the King of Swords, it's not just about your intellectual in nature, but it's also about how you can utilize this your nature, your trait, your natural trait, versus this emotional chaos that you don't think too much about your emotional side, but has somehow you got ascended through this progress of going back and forth between those two. So I hope you see the beauty of your life journey, and whatever upheaval that you're experiencing is work related. Employment is one of them. Relationship is another one. I think there's a divorce in some of you in this collective group, causing that as well. Something involved with your children, could be one or more children's. I don't know, the divorce battles, holding on to custody, who's doing the getting the custody basically, who's doing the what do you call the child, I don't know the terminology they use, the child support, that's the word for it. So it's involved in that. And is there any more scenario? So it's the mainly work and personal relationship, right? Some of you are going through divorce. So it's going back and forth in this, and you're able to alleviate the burdens going through all this, okay? Because you're not in tune with your feeling enough to worry until you get to the breaking point of what is need to be practical, what needs to be physical, and what's need to be resourceful in that regard to help you going back and forth in that. But of course, tear, pain, worry, hurry, fear, all those underlying emotions also help you to trigger you, to cause you to cry night after night, in order for you to realize that, hey, it is not practical things, it's not resourceful things to do that. That's what trigger you to have soul transformation. That's what trigger you to have soul ascension, to lighten your life with love. I think love being guided to you. I think love of family, love of yourself. Something happened in your community pointing you to love directions. It helped you in some way to release the burden that you've been facing night after night. So you can go back to this abundance. This abundance, it isn't about the physical, practical, and resourceful way anymore. At some point in this lifetime, afterward or aftermath, and I feel like this is the emotional abundance that you have been neglecting for so long, and I think you realize that feeling is always involved in your life. I think that it's the enlightenment throughout these upheavals more than one upheaval I'm talking about here to help you realize something, right? Make sure you're dealing with all four elements in your life. So it's not just about earth, right? Not just about the air, and it's not just about the fire, which is more of the action, but it's the water element that you're so neglect in the past. And I feel like this water element has been blossoming at your consciousness. It used to be so deep in your subconsciousness, but now it's more in your consciousness. So you can do more about that to continue to bloom this water element in you, to find the right balance in your life, because you need all those four elements in you to drive your soul fulfillment. Is there any more to say about this collective group for Taurus in Sun, Neptune, and Saturn? I'm going to end it here for this collective group. May you all find light from your own spiritual guardians. I'm going to use the Let Go, and it is for Gemini, Sun sign, Ascendant or rising sign. Anything else? So it's Gemini, Sun, or the rising sign, and I'm guided to use the Let Go mini card deck. It said your mind is a recorder. Let go of all negative, unkind replays and replace them with elevated sounds. It's talking about energy as well. I can translate this into energy. It's like people emitting negative energy, you suck it in and you hold on to that as well because of the unpleasantness that you feel from those life events. And I'm not here to say how long you have been doing this, but I can tell it has been quite a long time you've been doing it, since childhood. For some reason, I'm getting abused. You were abused at youth, and some of you get abused since childhood and throughout youth as well. So take what resonates with you, because everyone's timeline is a bit different here in this collective group. So some of you got abused since as a child, and it lasts until youth, or is only abused in your childhood. Some of you got the abuse since youth. So there's a variation of that. So you're holding on to this negative energy, and that's all you have been introduced to negativities. So you don't know how to let them go. You don't know how to heal yourself. You don't know that you need to work on those negativities that you've been taught throughout that time. So that's what it means. Your mind is like a recorder. You keep recording those things, all these unkind replays, and replace them, right? It's hard to replace them with elevated sound. What's that mean when it's elevated sound? I feel like some of you are trying to, but it's like diverting it to further suppress your past wound. Is a type of trauma that you're having. It's more severe kind on some of you, but you cannot just divert this sound, these voices. And I'm not talking about the sound of healing. It's more like the sound of diverting your wounds to prevent you from truly heal those wounds. Am I allowed to channel any further about diversion? Perhaps in the community you meet someone that you feel comfortable with, that you feel the trust with, so therefore you engaging in like day-to-day activities to elevate this feel-good feelings, so you can just isolate those unpleasant feelings on top of your head into a separate compartment, like a recorder. You only think about it when it's being triggered in something in you, right? In your day-to-day life. That is one example here in this group. Another one, you find a different hobbies or some habitual patterns that you're doing to inflict your inner problem on that particular thing or person, like a way of a type of outlet for you to vent your inner problems. So that is another way of that in this collective group. So this is not a healthy kind of way to elevate your sense, because you're replacing it with something, so you don't have to deal with your past, deal with your wound, to deal with your trauma, to deal with all those negative feelings that you have toward those incidents, so-called life events. I'll call it incidents, okay? But it's not just one. It's not that one-time thing, but quite a bit of many incidents in your past. So if when you're being triggered to do this unkind replays over and over again, you have to realize that it is coming from your wounds, coming from your trauma. You cannot keep avoiding it to live your life. Otherwise, you'll continue to circulate the darkness in you toward a thing, toward another individual. And you're not only harming yourself or delaying the healing, but you're also harming another being, an innocent bystander, or maybe an innocent person in your life that you actually cherish, and not realizing how you are inflicting this harm to other and to yourself. I'm going to end it here for this Gemini collective group here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian in this regard. So the first card is acknowledge, take responsibility, compassion, higher heart opening. And then I have the mystical messages, follow the sign. And let me see, the Leo sign is Sun sign, Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune. So Sun, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto. And let me write this down in case I forget about it. Sun, Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn. And I'm going to use the Twin Flame Soul Ascension Oracle deck. The first card, acknowledge, take responsibility. This collective group of people are aware and unaware that you're on Twin Flame journey. So I'm picking up half and half in this collective group. But however, you need to take responsibility of your life. Something about you blaming, victimizing is not your problems. I am hurt, so therefore I'm entitled to fight back. I'm picking up this type of attitudes in this collective groups. Let me see what this compassion heart opening. Because of this negative attitude you're having, you're blocking your heart chakra to open up to a different level of compassion. Because your compassion is quite isolated, it's quite discriminating, it's quite based on if this compassion actually making you feel good or not. So that means you don't have a deeper understanding of what pure love is. Therefore, you have hard time opening up this heart chakra to have the right balance of compassion. Your compassion right now is so dark. It's because of the past experiences that you have with relationship. Make you feel bitter, make you want to close your heart, make you want to protect your heart. So in that regard, along the way, you're not realizing you're inciting negativity, so-called darkness, in love. It forms some sort of another idea of love. The one that you have is where you grew up. And then the unpleasant experience in relationship caused you to form different type of idea of love. And that's where the extra layers of idea of love comes in. And they're not helping you to understand what is true love, what is unconditional love, what is pure love. So that's where you are stuck in this dark compassions until you realize how you engage in idea of love. I don't know. I'm getting a high calling. Need to elaborate further about opening your heart. You have to decondition a lot in your life, and I feel like some of you have some type of spiritual awakening at some level. Some of you have no awareness at all, and that's why you're having so much emotional struggles right now. You know it, then you're overthinking. Perhaps you're analyzing emotion and you're not sensing your emotions. And that's where the culprit of it. You feel it and then you don't think you have a problem. But once upon the time you think you have emotional problem. And I hope you see the conflict here of preventing you to open your heart. At one point in time you want to open it, and then another point in time you want to close it. Is it because of your impatience? Is it because of your aggression? Is it because of your volatility of belief? You're not someone who stay in the same belief all the time. I feel like you're too changeable and try to be so adaptable to people, to the environment, to cause you to be unstable in your value, to be unstable in your belief. I feel like you just turn it off and turn it back on based on how you're being triggered by that particular situations. And I don't think you're realizing about your habitual pattern in this behaviors, how unstable you are. You're not even sure who you are anymore at some point in life, and it's still happening, causing this emptiness in you. Some of you having loneliness, some of you having void. like you're going to the external world to do something, to filter it, to mask it, to divert it, to have this so-called comfort zone or so-called stable environment to help you in this regard. And I feel like some of you become an addictive feeling or addictive behavior that you are having hard time letting it go until another upheaval comes. Then you want to back away with it, but then somehow you're going back to this comfort zone again because you're not willing to do something about that emptiness, loneliness, or the void that you have inside. It is a very complex situation until you learn to find stability in you, because you let it won over you, to control you, to manipulate you in some way. Being overly adapting, it's not a good thing. It is sometimes it's time for you to stand up for yourself, as long as it is a healthy kind of boundary you're doing. But I feel like some of you in this group have tried to stand up for yourself, but using unhealthy way of drawing that boundary without realizing that you're using negative emotion to do that, just because you need to have this protective barrier, just because your bitterness, your bitter heart have been triggered to the surface and caused you to do that, to cause you to have unhealthy boundary. So you have to let that wounds come through you. I'm talking about your relationship wounds in the past. It seems like one or more in this group. So everyone have been through different type of relationship. I'm not sure how many. So at least one or more. The only way to fix it is to go back to your past relationship, how each of the partner have hurt you, or how you use partnership to hurt yourself. I'm seeing both ways. Mystical messages follow the sign. So there are signs everywhere for you, since you're on a twin flame journey. And you haven't acknowledged, some of you have not, and disregard the sign. I'm seeing number signs, I'm seeing butterfly, I'm seeing feather. So the number sign, it want me to say 7, and it happened to be on this card. You have to take your spiritual path. Do not disregard it to heal your soul. I'm seeing 3 as well. Is to work on yourself, to go inward. You need to focus on your inner world, not the outer world. Some of you are misinterpreting that. You keep focusing on the outer world, but not your inner world. So is there any more? 4. You need to relax when you see number 4. 5. Struggle with negative emotion like stress, like fear. 7 again. If you've seen 77. Spirit message. There's a spiritual message for you. If you see number 77. So there is another meaning of 77 in this collective group. Message. Interpretation. You need to interpret the message correctly. So that means you probably misinterpret the message. If you see number 77, that means you need to reinterpret the spiritual message correctly. 33, if you see 33, it is a warning from above that you need to work on yourself, to stop focusing on the external world, or you did stop focusing on the external world, but you're procrastinating or delaying in working on yourself. So it is a warning when you see 33. I'm guided to end it here for you, for this collective group in Leo, which is Sun, Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn. So take only what resonates with you for this Leo collective group. I'm guided to use the Twin Flame Soul Ascension deck again for this Pacific Cancer Zodiac collective reading. So there are a couple cards involved. Mystical messages follow the sign. It seems like this particular group that you are aware you're on twin flame journey, but I feel like some of you gave up on it along this journey. I'm not sure how long that you have been given up on twin flame, but doesn't mean that you're not on twin flame journey. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. And it said follow the sign. Sign is everywhere for you, but some of you choose to ignore them. Some of you misinterpret them. Some of you are following the sign that is not for you, actually. So you think the signs are for you, but really not for you. They are meant for someone else. And all this misinterpretation, I feel like it has come from your cancers. And I forgot to say that it's for which planets. Cancer for sun sign, Neptune, Pluto, Mars. Anything else? Rising? Anything else? Let me backtrack a little bit. This is the Cancer collective reading. If you have Cancer in sun sign, Neptune, Pluto, Mars, and rising, then this is for your reading. But always take what's resonating with you. Since this is only group readings, might not be including the entire populations regarding those specific planets that having cancers, zodiac sign. So I just mentioned about you misinterpreting the spiritual sign. Either you're supposed to pick that up, but you did not, or you pick up somebody else that's not for you, or you misinterpret what that is when it is for you. In that regard, yes, Cancer is extra sensitive and depend on the planet and the placement of those particular planets that I mentioned. In other signs as well. For you is you are extra sensitive. Some of you are an empath as well. I don't think all of you here. Maybe I'm getting a feel of you are an empath that make you even more sensitive. because your emotion is triggering. When you haven't dealt with your emotions, especially the negative kind, and you're mixing them, you're blending them, so therefore you don't have clarity of what those specific signs are really for you or not, or even interpret the one that are actually for you. And that's the meaning of this specific card here. Divine creativity, receive cosmic intelligence. Cannot read directly from this card, but I think there's specific meaning on it's about surrendering to align to your higher self, your higher purpose, your soul, your original soul blueprint. So it's saying that this group is not surrendering to your journey. You're still struggling with your personal life, and that's how you live your life from that perspective. And it's always going to be a struggle because you perceive it to be a struggle. And that's why it's asking you to surrender to those life events. They're meant for you. They're not a mistake. And you just perceive to be a negative thing for you when they're actually good for you, to understand the dark side that you're having so you can work on them, to ascend your own self with love, with light, with positivity. Instead, you will those life events as a struggle for you. So I hope you see that it has a lot to do with your perception, your perspective, and your judgment, and additionally your expectation as well. Like, I feel like you're expecting something out of your life, whatever that is. It doesn't work this way when you're not willing to surrender. Curing karma, Kundalini activation. It feels like you're continuing to carry unresolved karma because you view life as a struggle, whatever those specific situation and life event that you're having. They are meant for you to see the dark side so you can resolve your karma. But yet you just stuck there and don't want to do anything about it except, what can I do to make it better? What can I do to get rid of it? What can I do to go all the way around and not deal with it? But this karma is always going to come back to you until you resolve your inner world issue. And it's nothing to do with your external issue, even though you perceive it to be this way. Again, it is your perception problems. And then your attitude are not willing to surrender to your twin flame journey. And this entire group know that you're on twin flame journey. And I feel like some of you are blaming it. Some of you are in fear, afraid of it. Some of you are not willing to go with the flow of this journey, so therefore you limit yourself to put yourself in protective barrier. And it's going back to this surrendering card again. You're not willing to surrender to this twin flame journey. It will always continue the struggle because of this main reason. Honor your agreement. Mission emotions. It is a soul contract for you to be on this twin flame journey. And I feel like this is not the first lifetime that you're doing this. So why it is so hard for you to accept this journey? Just because you didn't get your twin flame? Just because nothing is happening? Again, this is your expectation. You expect what this journey is about for you. And everything else, you don't seem to care. This journey is about learning unconditional love. What are you learning? You're learning your own desire. You are putting your desire above anything else. If that's the case, you're not willing to surrender to this twin flame journey, to learn unconditional love, to heal your own darkness. And that is the culprit of your expectation. Come from your desire. When they don't serve your greatest good, you haven't reflect on your desire. You haven't reflect on your expectation, how they are not serving your greatest good. And this is about honor your agreement as well. This is not so much like you sign a contract in this 3D matrix world, like having an employment contract, having a loan contract. It's nothing like that. It is about your soul. It's coming from the spiritual world. It's never born in this physical place from the beginning. Since the inception, your soul, your higher self knows that. Just because you're so trapped in your expectation and desire right now doesn't mean your soul deep down inside not knowing about that. Your soul knows it, but then you're not willing to connect to your higher self to understand your soul, and you continue to inflicting self-harm in this regard. When your perception is only from the physical plane. Master Alchemist, violet flame activation. This violet flame is about soul healing. And I feel like a lot of you are willing to wait for when something go bad before you will try to do something about your life, about your soul. Yes, it is a struggle beyond that, but then you're not realizing how sick you're getting. Until there's some physical symptoms, then you will decide to want to do something about that. And this is all self-inflicted, for procrastinating, for delaying, or disbelieving in this twin flame journey. Is there any more I need to say for this collective group here? I'm going to end this for this Cancer collective group in Sun, Neptune, Pluto, Mars, and rising signs. And may you all find light from your spiritual guardians. For this Virgo collective readings, the Queen of Swords, I'm getting the Eight of Swords, getting the Two of Cups here, and also the Ace of Cups here. Let me see if I can lay them down here. It seems like you want me to read them all together to figure out what that is. It is about. Overthinking. I'm getting a lot of active. The mind is so active from this Queen of Swords and so busy. I'm seeing a whole bunch of butterfly. But then a lot of changes. Butterfly. Yes, this is about soul transformation, but what kind of soul transformation? I'm seeing a whole bunch of colors in your soul transformation, but not necessarily the right kind of soul transformation to really benefit you because of your overthinking, overanalyzing situation in your life. And that's what Virgo is good at, analyzing. But then if you start analyzing your inner world, and that is a problem for you, it is like transforming a whole bunch of stuff about you that not beneficial. So I'm looking at the Eight of Swords. It's a trap in your heart. I'm seeing the sword, four swords pointing at your heart. And then the eagle find at the top. It's like about freedom. When are you going to free yourself from self-inflicted trap that you put on yourself? And you're hurting your heart. You're hurting. This heart is about love. You're supposed to have love. You're supposed to born with love. But why are you killing your love? That's the first thing I'm picking up here. Is so infected to kill your own love. And then this Two of Cups. I feel like it's your partnership here, and try to lighting up this heart that you're having, this self-inflicted harm to your heart. But here you go, you have a loving partnership, wanted to save you, wanted to guide you out of this, but then you're over analyzing your partner as well, like incompetency. Whew. You are not just overthinking, but you're also over criticizing of somebody else. It's hard for you to receive, and you're so tight on receiving. When the love is right in front of you, you are having a hard time receiving love. And be aware that you are born to love. How can you not love? And you keep killing your own love. And you've been showered with love. You need to stop rejecting love. Wherever your past is, you have to learn to let go your past. I feel like you're overanalyzing what love should be. Perhaps your past telling you that love shouldn't be love. Love should be something else. I'm picking up responsibility as one of them. Another one is trade off. You have to trade it to get love. Is there another one? Fear of love due to impracticality, because love is so impractical, so you're afraid of love. This type of idea of love are molded to you in your younger environment, not necessarily being taught to you. I feel like the environment caused you to close your heart, or you probably observe, because remember, you're so analytical. You analyze through observation as well. Some of you have very keen observation, like Scorpio, like Leo. Virgos. Talk about zodiac sign here, because what makes you have keen observation. So Scorpio, Leo, Virgos are quite keen at that. Even Sagittarius at the spiritual level. Pisces come to me as well. Okay, those are the top 5 zodiac sign in your birth chart. Influence you to have keen observations. Overanalyzing isn't good for you. It isn't great for you. It causes you to separate yourself from your own soul, your heart. All you have now is just your mind and your body. Because of this fragmentation that you inflicted on yourself using your mind, analyzing the physical world so much that you forget that you have something inside of you, your heart and soul. They never got integrated into oneness, so therefore you're quite fragmented. That's why you have hard time having this beautiful relationship that you're supposed to have. You have it, but then you don't appreciate, you don't value it. What this relationship is trying to guide you to open your heart all your life or at some point in your life, and it's still doing it to give you this. I feel like this Ace of Cups is so overwhelming inside of you. Something happened, some upheaval happened recently or not long ago if it's not recent. Or that there's a series of upheaval leading to this overwhelming feeling is spilling. Your emotion continue to spill out of this cup. And you don't find that to be a beautiful thing. It is supposed to be a beautiful process for you, but I feel like you're still resisting it in some level. Not all of you here, but some of you are already in touch with your emotion. This is, well, I have to say congratulations. You are finally, some of you, in touch with some of those emotions spilling out of you. It takes a while for you to get there because your overthinking mind, everything has to be in the physical form in that regard. That makes it so challenging for you. Because of too scientific, it needs some evidence. Otherwise, if there's no logic in that regard, it is so hard for you to understand your own emotion, how serious your emotions are driving your heavy thoughts, behavior, hearts, and so forth, that you take your entire lifetime into this heart in pain, the heart in harm. Keep doing what you must to learn about you. Keep doing what you must to be more receiving from your partner. Your partner is here to support you, even though you might not think this way because you're overcritical. Your criticism need to lay down. You gotta lay down your sword. Stop criticizing. Stop judging. Stop overthinking. Open your heart to receive. Open your heart to understand your emotion. Not all emotions are great for you. They are spilling it out. Every one of them. Wherever life upheaval are triggering this. You can't heal yourself. There's so much that you need to work on healing yourself. For this partnership, it's a beautiful support system for you. I'm going to stop here for this Virgo collective readings. It is for the Sun, Moon, and Neptune planets. I'm starting the Libra collective readings for the signs Sun, Rising, Venus, Mars, and Pluto. Take only what resonates with you. I'm going to use the Sea and Sickle Oracle. Apples. $53. Using the Sky book. Are they all individual messages you're trying to tell me? So let me see how many cards there are. Like they're individual messages. There's a total of 6 cards. Maybe there's a 6 separate group here for this Libra. Maybe that's why we have like 5 different planet sign. So take only what resonating with you while I look into this Apple 53. Everything has an ending. Today or 100 years from now, nothing can stay as it is. So it's talking about your life as well. But I feel like this group here is holding on to relationship, the old relationship forever. I feel like you're still in this type of relationship. Like you're so used to this comfort zone, the habitual pattern that you're having, like needing partner. That's what Libra is. They so cling on to partnerships sometimes that like they're like couldn't be independent without a partner in some way. I'm not saying all Libras are like that, but this particular Libra is seem to be this way. And bad things already happens. Things that are unpleasant with this partnerships already happen, and you know it. And you know you're not happy. You know you're not satisfied in some way. So why are you continue to hold on this death? Death is meaning it's ending. So why won't you let this relationship end? There's something has to be closed. You cannot keep reopening over and over again. You need to find closure. Something about your heart in the past that you are not able to find proper closure to cause you to codependent on someone or something as well. For some reason, this particular so keep that in mind. It's not just someone, but also something you're codependent on. So let me go to 52. Dawn Guidebook. Does Guidebook now? Both? Just the dust. Scheduled? Sleeping schedule? You have so what is this related to pattern? Is it sleeping? You have so what is this related to pattern? Is it sleeping schedule pattern? Irregular pattern. Okay, it's talk about your irregular sleeping pattern. Like the schedule is not always on time. Like if you sleep on the right time, you sleep around 10, instead you sleep in 10 one day, the next day you sleep in 2 a.m. in the morning. And this is causing you to have disrupted sleep. I don't see how it is related to your dream. If you're having different sleeping schedule, as you just sleep, is nothing to do with the dream, unless you guys want me to say a different subject and not other topics. So it's also talking about dream as well. You often have dreams. Want to return home. So this particular group, your soul is not from Earth. That's what I'm picking up. So you're dreaming about going home and keep you awake sometime at night. That causing a disruptive sleeping pattern. Now I'm picking up two different things here. So I think there is a cause and effect here because you have so much disrupting sleep because of dream waking you up. So therefore you don't always sleep at the same time because of this reason, because of this regard. So maybe sleeping later, sleeping early in that nature depend how wear out you are. Maybe you're so exhausted throughout the day and also you're lacking proper sleep patterns causing you to feel tired and exhausted. So you don't always sleep at the same time. And in the long run, it creates quite a bit of anxiety for you because of dream longing you to go home. And your soul is not from here. You are a star seed. Your spirit, your soul level is manifesting for you to understand something beyond the living in this current lifetime. You cannot ignore your dream any longer. You have to revisit them. They are telling you your past, telling you your origin. You have been lost in this current lifetime just because of that, but doesn't mean you have to be in between world. You can still living in this current lifetime and acknowledge that you are from another planet. It is okay to accept that. There is so much more to meet the eyes than what you already know on this planet. There is so much out there in the cosmos. You don't have to stuck in this one tiny little constellation. You can learn to embrace your origin. Do not let fear get to you. The longer you postpone, the longer you deny your origin, the more anxiety you're gonna have. So surrender to your higher self, surrender to your soul. You are not lost. I feel like you think this way, but you're not. You're here for a greater purpose that you agree to. Seek within you for answers. Don't seek on the outside. The outside world cannot help you. This is just another human world on a foreign planet. I'm glad to say for the Starseed group that you should seek a psychic help for a special reading, a starseed reading for you to help you get familiar about your past or your purpose in this lifetime to open up to a different knowledge for you if you feel like you need it. So you don't have to stuck in this sleepless patterns and also dreams that hunt you, whether you remember them or not, but your dream could be in your subconsciousness, causing you the anxiety. I'm going to the next card here, 48. Mistletoe. The Dawn Guidebook, 48. Running out of energy. Too busy in life, running out of energy, but that doesn't mean it's caused by being busy in life just because you're working hard. Running energy is only the physical body, but then you have another one that is also running out of energy. It's talking about your soul here, this particular card. I feel like the reason why you're running energy from your soul is because you're too busy going about your physical life to work hard, but then you are not working on your inner self, so therefore you're running out of energy in that regard. But also you're so connected to your body, causing your body to feel tired, to cause some physical symptom, but that physical symptom, it isn't coming from you working hard in your physical self. So I hope you see the cause and effect here about your lethargy causing you to have symptom, causing you to have physical symptom when it's really coming from your soul symptom. But because your soul and your body are connected into one, you cannot really separate it. Even your mind separating that. So be mindful of how you're treating yourself. Why do you want to separate your soul away from your body? Just because you have some false belief? Just because someone tell you, oh, it have nothing to do with your soul, it's just your physical symptom. So but therefore you get prescribed to some sort of drug to help alleviate your physical symptom. But in fact, that is your soul problem. It's not your body problems. So you need to stop ignoring your inner world. And that's what this card is about. Hop 26. This is the Dawn Guidebook. Growing. Growing obstacles in life. Because you're throwing away something that is so significant in your life. So how are you rising above those limitations? It's asking you to slow down. I think you're creating too much limitation for yourself in this regard, as whatever you're experiencing in your life. It's causing to grow more obstacle than help smoothing your life journey. This is trying to tell you to slow down on whatever you're doing to yourself. I think you're overreacting to a lot of things. Could create a protective barrier, to create certain fear that make you more cautious than necessary, or it feels like worry about the future that you're trying to anticipate to make you hoard away whatever resources that you think that you need in the future. All of this are coming from your negative vibe. I hope you're listening to the wording, caution, fear, worry, and also hurry come through me as well. So those are all come from negative emotions that cause you to have negative vibe. So it's telling you to slow down, to understand your motivator. Your negative motivations is causing you more obstacle than necessary in this lifetime. So it's up to you to learn to grow positive behavior, not negative behaviors. Well, this is the Mandrake. You using the dark sky bolt. Judgment. You're judging yourself too much. And it's robbing your self-esteem, robbing your own self-love. Stop shaming yourself as well. Certain people in this group, certain Libra. Speed. Not too sure what that means, speed. Aging. Physical aging. Mind, body, heart, and soul are aging much faster than necessary because the way how you shame yourself, how you judge yourself, how you criticize yourself, and also blaming yourself. You are constantly increasing your negative intensity because the way how you feel yourself in such a negative way, based on those verbs that I just mentioned, how you're doing that, and they are coming from your negative feeling toward yourself. You are manifesting this more of the negative energy to cause your body, mind, heart, and soul to age much faster than necessary. So you gotta stop whatever doing. Look in the mirror. What do you see yourself in right now? And compared to when you were young, what are you seeing? What have you done to yourself? Stop using other people as an excuse. No one can do that to you unless you allow it to let it happen. And this is a very bad habitual pattern you're doing to yourself that it has to stop. Otherwise, death can come sooner than necessary for you, this group of Libra. Dawn Guidebook. Thus, the sickle 54. Challenges that you're facing is coming to the end soon, if not sooner. It's time to reflect back. To do you good. And that's the only way for you to completely harvest what you have started. Because there's something for you to learn when a cycle is ending. So this is the challenges coming to an end. It's talk about cycle that you're in. I feel like you repeat this cycle before. And there's many more cycle, but it's referencing challenges. To me, this is just cycle for you. To learn about each of the challenge that you have. I'm not saying those challenges are exact life event, but some of those challenges are overlapping, seem familiar, feel familiar. It is supposed to learn about the same soul lesson that you need to learn. Something that you need to grow in order to overcome those obstacles or challenge so-called. but it is a repeating cycle that you're in order to grow and learn. So how are you doing that? So another cycle is coming to an end, and it's gonna start a new one for you as well. You know, the ending is also a new beginning of something. And that's what this cycle is about. How are you harvesting the good and leave the bad behind? If you know how to learn and grow from those cycles, from those challenges, if not, you're gonna reach another obstacle, another barrier in life. It can go easy or it can go harder. It's up to you how well you learn and grow from them. I'm going to end it here. And this is the end of the Libra collective reading. There are quite a bit due to 6 different subgroup here from the Sea and Sickle oracles. And it is for Libra in Sun, Rising, Venus, Mars, and Pluto. Take only what resonates with you. This is the Scorpio for the planets Sun, Moon, Neptune, Mars, and Jupiter. I'm guided to use the Let Go deck. And this is a card. You will climb that mountain, and then the next which will bring great joy. No matter how much hardship, how much struggle that you encounter in your life, you will climb that mountain. This is not a easy way of going through the mountain because you're doing it step by step. You are not taking any shortcut in this, and you will experience heavy facets of your lifetime in this lifetime. And this will bring joy in your life. This joy, I feel like, is a sense of abundance because you finally understand what you need to let go by climbing through one mountain to the next. And this is a beautiful card. This is an affirmation to you that about this lifetime, at the end, it is full of abundance. And this is the end of the Scorpio collective readings. Tarot collective reading for the planets Sun, Rising, Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. And I'm using the Sacred Spirit card readings. Align your universe. Navigate distractions. This collective group is you have too many influences, too many desire. They turn into a distraction for you, and it's hard for you to understand what is serving your greatest good. So it's asking you to align to the universe. It means to align to your higher self, so that way you don't have to constantly feel conflict where your inner world is not aligned to your outer world. But to do that, you have to discern what is really serving your greatest good, so you don't have to keep having this chaotic emotional chaos. That's what I'm seeing in here. Struggle in life situation as well. But before you can do any alignment, you have to have desire to change. If you're not willing to change for better, nothing is going to happen. You're going to continue this downward path. So how are you determined to awaken your spirit self, the one that is suppressed into your subconscious self because of your ego is constantly getting in the way? Astral travel, caution needed. I feel like some of you are using wrong methods to try to heal whatever issues is that you're facing. So this is about caution needed about what you're obtaining in this outer world, because people are having their own opinion about how they care, as simple as anxiety. Be mindful of that. Prescriptions, drugs, or over-the-counter pills not going to help you when it comes to your soul issue. Ascended Master, create open communications. It is about your higher self. How can you open communication to which for your higher self? You know, you have a soul in you. Your body is just a body, but without your soul, you have no consciousness in this lifetime. But unfortunately, what's going on in this society, it's create your ego and subconscious self more than anything else, causing you to have fragmented consciousness. And that's what's going on with why you have subconsciousness, why you have an ego cell, and then splitting your consciousness into multiple areas, causing you to have harm than necessary. By the time you reach the state of having symptom, it's usually severe. And you have to go about figure out the remedy. And oftentimes that remedy does not serve your greatest good. It only divert, suppress in some way that never heal the one that you need to heal. Birth of creation, potential growth. Do I need a guidebook for this one? Birth. You need a new life journey that is not the one that you have been on. That is the only way to create something new for yourself. Sometimes it is the authentic version that you started out with in this lifetime from the way beginning, when you were in your inner child, before your innocence has taken away by whoever or whatever information or whatever the society has done to you. So you might have to create a new path, or you have to go back to your innocent child journey in order to step into this potential growth. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in where you are, creating the same old pattern, or try to change this old pattern into another type of old pattern. Might not seem familiar, but it's stuck in the same path of habitual patterns, that where you can find your own authentic self. And that's what this is about. The main theme here is about align to your universe, align to your higher self, align to your authentic self, so you don't have to go through this struggles, this life situation problems over and over again. So I'm guided to end it here. For the Sagittarius collective readings, may you find life from your individual guardians in this regard. Always take what resonating with you and toss the rest away. I'm going to go ahead and stop the Capricorn collective readings here. It is for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Uranus, Mercury, Pluto, and Jupiter planets. If your Capricorn fall in one of those planets, this collective reading could be for you. Always take what resonating and leave the rest. So I'm guided to use the guiding light oracles. There's a couple cards. The first one, boom. Heaven is rushing in and showering you with blessing. Open your heart to receive. I feel like there's some spiritual sign going on. Perhaps this group is going through the dark night of your soul as well. Whatever major upheaval that sink you so low to the rock bottom, that is classified as dark night of your soul. However, there is a huge contrast there where you also sensing a light somewhere from above showering you with this to open your spirit self to receive this blessing. Because you're going through a spiritual awakening that is so deep. The dark and light contrast, that is a sign of the dark night of your soul and your first sign of spiritual awakening. Please do not disregard that. The second one is heart and heart. Don't allow the situation to make you bitter, cold, and aloof. Whatever you're going through in this life right now, or whatever happened in your past, don't close your heart because you're trying to avoid it, or you're trying to protect yourself, or because that particular incident in your life hurt you so bad that you haven't healed yet. That caused you to close everything up, turn you into a different person where love it isn't expressed in a healthy way. So it's asking you to open your heart again and trust this journey as you're going through this spiritual awakening. It is time to surrender to a higher purpose. For the next card, visualization. By practicing visualization daily, you are calling forward your desire and will soon be a tangible experience in your current reality. Visualization of, I feel like why this is a reversal card. I go to the guidebook. Let me check the guidebook here, so I'm not picking up exactly the intention of this higher purpose. Special offering. This desire to heal, the desire to move past this dark night of your soul, desire to move past this upheaval that is so hard on you right now or recently, and is still hunting you day and night. The desire to move away from this. It is time to take a light path. It is time to heal your soul. Time to bring your subconscious forward. Wherever it's triggering you, there's something stuck in your subconscious want to surface. It is a blessing, but the question is, do you desire to heal this through this upheaval? How determined are you to do that? If you're saying yes to this, then move forward with this desire, and it will come true in this tangible world, in this physical world for you. Do not judge what is coming forward in your future, in the remaining life journey. Be sure that you don't go back on it. Do not try to go backward. You're supposed to move forward with this as long as you're determined to heal. Keep this desire in you that you want to heal. It is a day-to-day basis thing. You have to focus on healing to experience a whole new reality for you, not the one that you have been living, that pattern that you have been living. It is calling for a new journey to take a leap of faith. I'm going to end this for you for this Capricorn collective readings. I hope that you find light in this new journey. And I'm about to start the Aquarius collective reading. It is for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto, Uranus, Mars, and Venus planets. Take only what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And I'm going to use the Phenomenon Wisdom Oracle. And I have to block the visual because of nudity issue. But this one is talking about strength, power, and endurance. $32. Let me see if there's a specific message here for this collective group here. Whenever you're facing new life challenges, you are ready for them. You're strong and resilient. Your inner strength is admirable, and just like any known muscle, this too needs to be reinforced every day. Strength is consciously choosing to overcome whatever life throws at you, choosing to keep your balance, getting yourself together, and doing everything you can to stay calm is the key. Life is hard, and as the year passes, it might get even harder, but how you choose to deal with things is ultimately who you become as a person. So it is, be careful when you're dealing with life events, right? How are you judging those specific life events? You're not realizing that you're using your negative feeling to judge them. So therefore, you miss out the higher purpose. And the strength is asking you to face them with the best in your light, And I'm seeing this photo, this nudity girl is having a mirror, is showing the face, a smiling face. And instead of having a sad, angry face to go about your life event, and that's what it's trying to tell you. You need to reinforce a better attitude to face what you need to face in your everyday life. Life challenge does not have to be an unpleasant thing for you. It is also about growth and learning your soul lessons. Directions 36. Direction is about movement, it's about action, it's also about your behavior. How do you move forward in your life journey? And this is the direction is trying to indicate here. Are you ready to follow the right path? Are you being guided to a different direction that is not the right path? What is your heart is trying to tell you? It's that desire pure enough to serve your greatest good? That needs to be questioned as well. If your desire is already put you in a downward path, are you still continuing this desire? You have to be honest with yourself. How is this desire leading you to a downward path? I feel like not only life event in the past had triggering you to take a downward path, but also there's some voices inside of you to influence you as well, but you're allowing that voices to get into you to cause you to be out of focus, even though that inside of you there is the right path that you know that you want to take. Now it is time to revisit what kind of emotion isn't serving your greatest good, because that's what through your desire. So this card is about self-reflection on your directions in life. And that tied to your strength card as well. Are you going to let that to continue to control you? Or are you going to pull out your inner strength and tell yourself that that is the right path for you, but not the other path that you've always been taking? Harmony, peace, balance. Card 35. Inner peace, it's powerful. To get there, it's not easy because of those voices that mentioned earlier tend to influence you to the wrong direction. So you can be calm, and you can find that inner peace so that you need to nourish yourself. It isn't just about nourishing your body, it's also nourishing your mind, heart, and soul. How well are you responding to that? Or are you still reacting to the outer world to cause you inner chaos? It is dedicating, it is delicate, not dedicating. It's delicate matter to do, to find that inner world, to navigate through all those voices that you allow them to influence you one way or another. You have to clear your path in order to move toward to a deeper awareness of what's going on inside of you. So you must question of how you perceive yourself. Are you still allowing the external side of you to influence you, to cause you the downward path that you have been taking? So watch out for that desire as well. So you must pull out your strength, your inner strength, to face those challenges. I'm going to end this here for you, Aquarius. Collective reading. Hope you find light in this message. I'm starting the Pisces collective readings now for the planet sign, Sun, Moon, and Uranus. If your Pisces fall in any of those planets, this could be your collective readings. Always take what resonates with you and leave behind the rest. I'm going to use the activation geometry. Let me double check. It's called the Sacred Geometry Activation Oracle. Universal love. The frequency of universe love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Universal love is about unconditional love. It feels like you are working toward to that universal love, so-called unconditional love. But that require a much higher frequency. It's a little accumulation of improving your frequency in order to reach this ultimate goal called universal love, or so-called the unconditional love. It is doable, even though you might be bound by the fact that life cannot be unconditional. It has to be conditional. But this is just the way how this thought society want to put limitation on you to make you think that it is not possible to achieve unconditional love within you, because you're so codependent or so rely on the external factor to live your life. So therefore you require conditioning. And that is the culprit of this limitation. It is a false belief that ingrained in you. Let me move on to the next card. Tantric journey. The frequency of tantric journey help us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness. and completion through our central experiences with ourselves and with another. So it is also about the limitation, right? How this dark society want to hold you captive in all kinds of limitations, so-called conditioning. So therefore you wouldn't go inward to dive within to acquire the hidden knowledge that you so need. It tried to move you away from your own soul, so that therefore it creates this egoistic self. When you move away from your own soul, it also creates the subconscious self at the same time. Your egoistic self is all about conditioning. Your consciousness is your consciousness. It's always there no matter what, because that's what your soul will give you, your consciousness. But your egoistic self is suppressing your consciousness to create your subconscious self. So I hope you see that this journey is to unlock this subconscious self, which is your higher self, your soul, so you can dive into this hidden knowledge that you so self-inflicted by the limitation of the society through conditioning. Transitions. The frequency of transitions support your deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and your life, so that you can learn to let go, surrender to the past, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. You have to surrender to your higher self. You have to surrender to the nature. You have to surrender to the spiritual world. You have to surrender to your spirit self, the subconscious side of you that is so missing, to make your consciousness whole again. So how well are you deconditioning your egoistic self, so that way you can remove it, so that way you can have more clarity in your consciousness, so that way you can pull out the subconscious self to integrate back with your conscious self. So it is an ever-changing transitions. I hope you see little baby step goes a long way. What are you doing now and in the future to help you to have those little baby steps to work on integrating your egoistic and your subconscious self back into your conscious self? It is calling you to surrender to nature, to your higher self, in order to decondition everything. This is the way to open up to your self-awareness, to spiritual awakening, to soul healing, so you can take a life path to unconditional love, which is the universal love from the first card. Synergy. The frequency of synergy support your allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and union that we saw in the new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds you to embrace the unfamiliar, so that the new yet exciting co-creation can give birth to new reality. The not so obvious things that you don't know, or things that you don't think is you, your resistancy due to the conditioning, the resistancy due to what you know already from the day you were born to as of today, and that's all you ever learned it. That is called the resistancy. It's hard time for you to accept not so obvious, the never seen before. You know, the spiritual side of you is not something you can touch, not something you can hear, not something you can see. It's not a scientific evidence to prove that you have the spiritual side of you. So I hope that you see why you need to embrace the not so obvious, the never seen before, basically the unknown side of you. How are you embracing it? Are you still focusing on your outside, or are you stepping into this gate to open up your inner world? and you have the intuition and you have the sixth sense or so-called guts feeling as well. How well are you utilizing it, and how well are you trusting it to open up this spiritual gate for you to tap into your own inner world? There's so much that for you to learn inside of that. And it is the process of deconditioning if you are willing to open this gate to learn about your soul. Romantic love. The frequency of romantic love support your journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. This is about partnership. I feel like this is about people in your community. They're sending you so much support in this spiritual journey to get to know your soul. Are you taking advantage of it in a positive light, or are you resisting it because you don't like what they are doing to you or saying to you in that regard? Your attitude will play a significant role in your community. How well are you receiving this loving support by other people? Do not judge because of your preference. Do not judge because of your past experiences in your physical form. There's so much that you don't know about your spiritual form yet, that you are so forgotten about the past, your past beyond this lifetime. The past that when you were in the spiritual form as well. And that's what this romantic love is about. It could be your romantic partner. It could be family. It could be friends. It could be a bystander. It could be just a stranger you just met somewhere. And so forth, okay? Romantic love is so large in scope. So do not just narrow that to a romantic partner. Soul time. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Let me see if I'm saying this word correctly. Corporeal. It's while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So it's more about having the body is mortal. It's talk about your soul journey. This is not the first lifetime that you're having. Your body defined a specific lifetime for you, but your soul travel through all of those lifetimes that you have experienced in the past. So your soul is timeless, is limitless, it's infinite. What are you doing to tap into this soul that you have that give you consciousness? Unfortunately, it's also fragmented into egoistic self and subconscious self. So be mindful of that. Your soul needs to integrate back into wholeness. What can you do to mend all of that? It is up to you how well you are deconditioning your life, so that way you're no longer manipulated or controlled in any way by this dark society. And this is the end of the Pisces collective group. May you find light from all your spiritual guardian in this group.